Welcome into the High Yellow Pod. I'm your host, David West. Another special guest in the building, my man Ariea Bastami. What's up,
Yes,
bro? How are
sir.
you?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Man, thank you, man. Like I was just telling you before we got started, bro. It's always a privilege having people see what I like about you, dog, is you're a very humble guy, man, and you're very gracious with your time, and I really appreciate it. Like I said, I know you're mad busy, dog. So anytime before we even get started, bro, I just want to take the time to really tell you how much I appreciate you, bro, and even take your time to come on, bro.
Yeah, it means the world to me, bro. I love what you're doing with the platform, so it's the honor is mine as well, homie.
For sure, man. Let's get right into it, bro. So I always like to. I know we could talk rap all day, and we will, but What I like to kind of do is I always like to start with the journey, right, and how we
Okay.
got to where we are, right.
hmm
I've had the privilege of writing about your journey, and I've done. We're gonna talk about that final in a second, but I've had the privilege of kind of. I have a little bit of what knowing of what's going on with your journey, man. How you came up, bro. So I'll set the stage a little bit here. Mississippi upbringing, relocated to Texas at a very young age, and that's kind of where I want to start, bro. Because uh, I, as you may not know, I relocated to Texas at a very young age as well.
hmm
Actually from New Orleans due to Katrina, but I'm very
Yeah.
interested in your story as far as how was that relocation process for you, and what kind of do you remember about having to relocate at such a very young age?
Yeah, I mean it's a very strange time in your life, you know what I mean? Like when you relocate from one area, because especially when you're young, you're malleable, you're a kid. Having that sense of relocation, it kind of throws everything in disarray. So I remember moving from Mississippi to Texas. I was super young, but it's one of my first like memories that I can trace back of being like, yo, where the hell am I? Like this is weird.
Yeah. How
But
young
I
were
mean,
you?
you get acclimated quick. 3 years old. So it was like my
Oh man,
very
you was
first
younger than
memory
me,
with.
bro. I was like six,
Yeah,
so you really
yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
what was
yeah.
going
So,
on.
exactly. So my very first memories is really just a sense of confusion, which I guess played on throughout this the story of my life, if you will. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, man, it was a weird time to say the least. But I've been Southside born and raised, bro. Third Coast.
for sure, man. Okay, so yeah, story very much different than mine, man. Because I came in 6 years old, just just very pessimistic. I hate it, bro. I still have a bit of resentment toward Texas, bro, and it sucks because Texas has been great to me, bro. It really has.
Yeah,
But I guess kind of how I left due to unforeseen circumstances, right?
right,
Whole hurricane came in, and I had to relocate due to that, and it essentially isolated me from my entire family, right? And that
right.
I feel like that's where sort of the bitterness and baggage comes from, man. I guess did you have family in Texas already, or were you kind of?
Nah, so yeah, it kind of in the not in the same sense of obviously like a natural disaster like Katrina, but my mom had lost her job, and so we had to move because of that. So to an extent it was unforeseen because I don't think anyone was expecting that my mom was going to lose her job and we were going to stay here or stay in Mississippi, if you will, excuse me. But yeah, I guess there's a little bit of resentment. Like I always wanted to know what life would have been like if I had lived in Jackson. Like if I was in that area, like how would I have played out as a human being? And I'm sure that's some
That's bro.
sense of
That's
like,
all I think about, bro. And
yeah,
it sucks because I look at you, right, and you come so far. I've come so far, man. I feel like we're both on a path of greatness. Essentially, we're doing great things. Me with this
mm-hmm.
podcast, you with your music endeavors. So I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that you think about these things as well because it's like we're doing
Yeah,
so good. We both went to UT, which we're gonna talk about.
yeah,
We've done these successful things, but it's like, man, what the hell could my life could have been, right? So I'm happy. It's good to
absolutely.
know, bro. You think about the same things.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man.
So yeah, you get to Texas, man, and we don't got to spend too much time on that specifically, but I do. Obviously, you landed at UT. I know we're skipping a whole bunch of pieces, so you could, if in any parts of the journey you want to hit on, please do. Cut me
I
off at
got
any
you.
time, bro.
I
But obviously, you get to UT, man. Was that the school you wanted to go to the whole time? Because I feel like we're gonna be
so
differing on that too.
damn, you're the first person to ever ask this question. I got to be honest, man. So UT was definitely look. UT is a school that held a lot of affinity in my heart ever since I was growing up. But the first school that I ever really wanted to go to, man. I'm a sports fan. You're a sports fan. I wanted to go to UNC. I wanted to be a Tar Heel because of Jordan. So that was the first school. I got
Yeah.
waitlisted from UNC, and then UT. I don't even want to say it in the sense that it was my second choice, bro. Like it's a great school. Like I love UT. to the death, and it's one of those things.
Bro, I'm not gonna judge you, bro. I promise, I'm not judging.
Yeah,
I didn't know. This was not in the plan for me at all. You know, trust me, you're good.
Well, because see, this is what I'm saying. No one has ever asked this question, so I'm like, yeah, UT, which I am. Look, I went there. I'm a part of the school and its tradition now. But yeah, man, my first ever the choice. I applied to 2 schools. I applied to UNC and I applied to UT. And UNC waitlisted me. UT accepted me. I was like, all right, I'm going to UT. So that was kind of the story. But I mean, I loved. Those were the 2 schools, man. It was. Vince Young for UT for me, and then it was MJ for UNC, and so it was,
No, that's another thing I appreciate, bro, because most people you talk to, like I could feel for you that it was kind of hard to even say what you just said, because UT is such a prideful school, man.
Very.
I feel like maybe it's a privilege that I didn't want to go there my whole childhood, right? Because I feel like we're very biased to our school. You can. Yeah. I'm a diehard LSU, bro. I was at LSU versus Texas, rooting for LSU. I'll straight up say it. I had a jersey on. It is what it is, bro. It just is what it is, man. Because I'm Louisiana to the that's just my heart, bro. So it's good to hear that you don't have that bias. You know what I'm saying? Even though you just graduated, and it's obviously, but you're a proud alum. I'm sure I'm going to be a proud alum very soon here. Right? Yeah,
absolutely.
So you get to Texas, man, and I guess. Kind of because I know your admiration for rap came in way before you got to UT. So I guess let's backtrack a little bit here. Kind of go into when did rap become when did that admiration sort of come to fruition? Because I know a little bit about it, but I would love for you to tell the audience.
Yeah, man, absolutely, bro. So I have a brother who's 8 years older than me. And around the time that I was 7 or 8 years old, that's when Wayne was really hitting his peak. Like, I think that's when the Carter 3 first dropped. And so my brother was blaring this album. And obviously, I mean, we look at it in retrospect, now it's a classic Wayne tape. Might be arguably his best project.
Oh, Carter 3?
Carter 3, yeah.
Oh, that's a classic.
I mean,
that's a classic.
It's a classic. And people, you can argue it's his best album in his discography.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Not including the mixtapes, because I could go days for the mixtapes. But, so he's blaring this album. I think it was around the same time that he had got his like 1996 Toyota Corolla. So he just got a CD player in it. Yeah. He was taking me to school. That's all we were listening to. So at a very young age, I was like, man, like this guy is like, Wayne is going crazy. So I was listening to Wayne. And then from there, I backtracked into just like earlier music. So like, the first hip-hop song that I could say I remember prior to listening to Carter 3 as extensively as I did was Slick Rick, Children's Story. And it's one of the greatest, at least in my opinion, one of the greatest pieces of narration through hip-hop, of just like delving into this lane of two different people and the decisions that they make and the consequences that come from it. And so, I mean, ever since I was young, man, I had a passion for writing. And so that kind of coincided with music. And I played instruments. I played the piano, the violin. And then I listened to hip hop. I was like, yeah, this is the greatest culmination of music, in my opinion, that you can have. And so that's kind of where it started. The inception of it was through my brother playing the Carter 3. Because when I listened to Slick Rick, I was like, yo, this is really tight. And then I don't know what happened. I have a hazy recollection as to where my hip hop admiration went after that, and then Carter 3, and then I just went from there.
Yeah, what instruments did you say you played before?
Piano. So I play the piano a lot more than I do the violin. I don't play the violin as much anymore. But yeah, I mean, I play the piano, more so the keyboard now into like my production, because if I'm making beats, I don't really use the piano. But yeah, bro, those are the 2 instruments that I play.
So what was it? Because what about, was it just the ability to express yourself within the lyrics that got you? Because obviously, I think piano's mad dope. I actually want to pursue a piano, to be honest. I'm very interested in it. Was it? Do you feel like just being able to express yourself in rap that's kind of why that kind of became the path for you?
I think that's a good way to put it, man. Because it was always, for me, I'd always love to write, and I would just creatively write stuff. And when I say creatively, I don't mean in a good way. I would just write random stuff. Yeah. And so hip-hop kind of gave me an outlet to do that through. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's essentially what it was, because I've always had a passion for writing. I still do. And to put that through an outlet of instrumentation, or collided with instrumentation, I think is great. And I think, it makes a story reach the masses a lot easier. It's more susceptible for people to listen to it, if you will.
Word. Yeah, man,
Almost.
that's mad dope, bro. What I kind of want to dive into as well is, again, having the privilege of write about this in this final. We can talk about this final real quick, man, because it was because I'm gonna keep referencing it, bro. That was an interesting experience, bro. It really was.
Interesting for me. It was interesting for me, bro. K-Rob, Kevin, bro. He like a week or 2 weeks before the show, or maybe it was 2 weeks before the show. He's like, "Hey, Ariea, I know that you're doing a show. Can we write about it?" I was like, if you want to, man, like, sure. Because at that time, I didn't know how anything was gonna go. And Justin Sanchez, the guy who did the thing, he created like the platform for the show. He was still kind of in the works of getting everything settled. So when Kevin asked me, I was like, sure. I mean, if you want to, but I don't know what's about to happen.
No, I was in such an interesting. You can just imagine the interesting dynamic I was in, man. He presents the idea, right?
Yeah.
He frames it as this is the final. I'm like, wait, this is the final. Like 45% of my grade is gonna lie on this performance. So you can imagine my head. I'm like, okay, that's a big deal. Like that's a hold on. But what was dope, bro? Obviously, you started coming to the classes, man, and we had met before. I can't remember. I don't know where we met before, but we obviously knew each other when you was coming to the classes, bro. Yes. And bro, you telling your story, man, and I thought it was dope, bro. Like it, again, bro. Why I like keeping you around, bro, and being a friend of yours, bro. I can't stress this enough, bro. How humble you are, man. And you told your story, bro. And we got to write about it and all that different things, bro. And it helped me understand you more, understand your worldview, bro. So I really, I guess I just say that to say, like, I remember going to the final, like, man, what this is the final, like, but as time progresses, man, and we went to the performance, it was mad dope, like, it was insane, bro. But kind of transitioned from that, bro. I also want to dive in, man, because something I also learned about you is that your parents, man, you being your parents from Iran, am I correct? So yes, I guess if I remember you, and correct me if I'm wrong, I remember you saying something along the lines of you hesitated to tell them that you wanted to pursue rapping as a career path just because of how potentially they would look at that endeavor. Would you mind kind of going into that as well? Kind of how you might have.
Yeah. No, absolutely, bro. I mean, I think, it's a huge thing within Middle Eastern culture that you're supposed to go through the avenue of being a doctor, being an engineer, being a lawyer, or something with a sense of financial stability. So even with me presenting to them, yo, I want to do journalism, I want to creatively write, I want to do this kind of stuff, they even look at that hesitantly. The community that I live in looked at that with yo, that's kind of weird that you're not doing the regular path of what you should be doing. And though I have nothing for respect for people that want to dedicate their life to doing that, whether it be in law, whether it be in engineering, or being a doctor, whatever the case is, I just never had that sort of passion for it. And so, I mean, I presented that to my parents. I'm like, yo, this is what I really love doing. Obviously, I've been playing music my entire life. Hip hop has been a big part of my life. They knew that when I was younger. Like I would hang up, I would buy CDs, bro, and I would take the little sliver of the cover of the CD and I would just put it on my wall as like it was a poster. I mean, it was a really small ass poster, but it was like what I would use. Yeah, for sure. And so that's what I would do. And they had always known that I loved hip hop. I mean, ever since I was young. But yeah, it was one of those things for my parents and both my community. They were like, yo, like, what the hell is this kid doing? But it's, for me, you got to take the way I perceive life, bro. It's just like, if, not to get all Wayne, Drake, YOLO, or Wayne Ross, well, all three of them. But but like, bro, this is it. Like, if we really only have one life to live, like, I'm not gonna sit there being miserable. I can't. Like, I urge people not to do that, because like, if you have a passion, you just gotta chase it. And I think
is this kind of how you kind of presented this? Did you present this to your parents at one point? Like, this is kind of what you're saying now, how this is all I have. Like, I have to go after my dreams.
Exactly.
How did they meet that? How did they kind of reciprocate? How did they meet that?
Yeah. At first, I mean, to be completely blunt with you, bro, at first they were not about it at all. And it took a lot. I mean, it took me even telling them like, yo, I want to do journalism. And I presented them the plan of, hey, both UT and UNC have great programs for this. This is what I would do if I was at UT. This is what I'll do if I'm at UNC. And then kind of the same thing with music. I was like, yo, this is how I'll present stuff to music. This is how I can send stuff to editorial playlists through Spotify or Apple and make the connections like that. So like, I guess the thing that it made me have a plan with my parents. Like I always had to have something to at least present. And I think that's good to have in life, because even if the plan doesn't go the way you want it to, right? Even if a pandemic happens, right? And there's no way you can ever plan for that. You at least have some backbone or backing to be like, okay, well, I can still tweak some things here and there and fix that so I can continue what I want to do. But yeah, bro, it was a tough transition for everything, for what I wanted to do educationally, what I wanted to do through my passion, and hopefully, knock on wood, one day my profession. Yeah, bro, I think
it's so interesting that the parallels. I think this is what I've started to really enjoy about journalism as I've progressed through my career, right? It interlaps and it parallels with so many different things, bro, from podcasting to anything. Like you said, you had a plan where you can take your journalistic skills and apply that to music. You can write about it. You can do so many different things. And I feel like that's kind of, I definitely didn't know this going in, man. It's crazy. It sounds like you had this figured out. I had to I got to UT, man, kind of was just because the school I went to prior to UT, there was no journalism program. So I kind of just got there and it's like, okay, I kind of want to do sports TV, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's what I've kind of started to appreciate about journalism, bro. There's just so many different things you could do with it, bro. Like this podcast, man, it's insane.
You got to be with journalism. I think you have to be a jack of all trades. Like you could be thrown into anything. Like even if you wanted to do sports, I know people that are they just now graduated from UT that wanted to do sports journalism or covering politics. Like you have to be a jack of all trades. You got to do everything. And I think it's the thing about journalism that's so beautiful. It traverses over so many different fields and avenues. And it's a dope thing, man. It's a great thing.
I think the sports thing is an interesting thing we could talk about as well, because that's sort of what you wanted to go into as well. Was it sports television or was it
sports television, sports broadcasting for sure.
Yeah, so obviously I'm in the same boat, right? When I first get to UT, and I think it's interesting right now. I just applied for like Longhorn Network, right? We might not have sports at all, so I feel like it's a very scary thing, man. It goes back to, I had a guest on a few weeks back, man. He talked about this thing called identity foreclosure, right? And how we can't be so consumed in one identity because, like you said, bro, pandemic going on, people are just graduated. They're trying to pursue sports. Sports journalism. We might not have sports at all. So it's pretty crazy, man. So I guess anybody listening, man, I guess my advice is just, bro, you got to pursue multiple things. Like I said, man, I'm doing this podcast and different things, but it's like, that's a scary thing, man. Because we both know people, we're both heavily in journalism, sports journalism specifically. Like they're looking for opportunities in this field, man. And it might not even come to fruition right now.
Few and far between. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a really good point you make. It's something that I think within human nature we always find ourselves in. At least myself, like just pigeonholing yourself in one thing because of it could be pride. You know, like I'm just so prideful that I was like, yo, if this plan doesn't work for me, like what the hell am I supposed to do then? Yeah. Where in reality, life has a multitude of different things that it's going to throw at you, and you got to figure out how to assess and readjust from it. So that's a really interesting take that you made.
Yeah, man, it's like you said it, bro. It's an interesting time, man. Speaking of the pandemic, man, how has it kind of affected you, bro? Like, what kind of changes have you kind of had to make, or just any type of anything you wanted to address? How it's kind of affected you, bro, and how your life path has changed. I know ain't no touring going on, nothing like that, bro. So I know you're rap career.
Let me say this, bro. 2020 has been an absolute thunderstorm. I don't even know how to explain it, bro. It's been one of the most trivial years I think anyone within our generation has ever experienced. And though I think there are people, obviously I'm grateful to be in the position, just like you and I, bro, we're blessed enough to have this conversation and sit here. There are people that, may not be able to have that kind of opportunity or luxury. And the pandemic has caused a lot of turmoil with a lot of different people, both globally and domestically. But homie, dude, I was supposed to, and not to like put this on myself, but right after the show, I had things set up to where when South by came around, I was going to open up for Questlove of the Roots.
Oh,
and like
goodness.
that one. Yeah, bro. I mean, there were so many things that were set up for me, at least in the sense of music and just, going out that way. especially right after graduation. And so when that can happen, I couldn't.
Really quickly, I'm just gonna say the show he's talking about is, I think it was in November, the Digital Dopamine, right?
Yeah, Digital Dopamine
that
show.
was
Yes, that's right.
November, December-ish, 2019. Just for context for everybody, but keep going. Bro.
No, absolutely. My apologies. Yeah.
No,
so, yeah, man. So I had that stuff lined up. The show was in late 2019. Then I graduated in 2019. Then 2020 was going to come around with South by. There was supposed to be Rhythm and Flow with Netflix that I was supposed to be on. Just a bunch of stuff that was just like halted. And so, like we were talking about, man, you had to learn to readjust and you know, assess what you can do at this point. And so, in regards to music, I will say the one thing that it has been a blessing for, well, not to like pat myself on the back a little, but like,
no, please, bro, this is you, man.
I've gotten to be a little bit better of a producer, and that's something that I've always been really not necessarily insecure about, but like, for lack of a better term, I guess insecure, that I couldn't do really well. I couldn't produce really well, and now I think I'm decent enough at it. So it's definitely helped with like music evolution. And dude, when you're bogged down in a room or wherever you might be, the mind goes, and you kind of got to follow that train of imagination. So it's helped a lot with just like creativity as well, which is so contradicting, because how can you ever be in a sense of creativity when you're cooped up in a room? But
man, people like you and myself, I feel like we find ways, man. It's so beautiful to hear, like you said, you kind of taken on this producing endeavor. I would just hope I'm fairly pessimistic on a lot of things, bro. But if there's one thing I'm optimistic about regarding this pandemic, bro, I hope people are sitting down and like me in this podcast, this was just an idea, right? You know what I'm saying? I hope people are really tapping into that potential and like really taking on these endeavors, bro. Because if I had a hip hop professor actually who told me this. If you're not pursuing your endeavors right now, bro, it's kind of like either you don't have that love for it that you think you do, or maybe it's just not meant to happen, bro. Because I feel like this has been the perfect opportunity for, like you said, tap into that untapped potential, right? To really do things, you know?
Absolutely. I think you're right, man. And it's one of those things, bro, like when it comes down to it, we're in our 20s, man. Like time is fleeting. Bro. Time is a very fleeting thing. And we are in a time of our life where, you know, you're not, the way I perceive it is that you're not really granted too many mistakes to make in life, but the time that you're able to make mistakes is right now. So it's like, whatever you want to do, whatever it might be, whatever risks you want to take, I think now is the best time to do it, because you can't, like, I mean, you can, I want to be a believer of people that can chase their dreams whenever they want to, but like reality is reality sometimes, bro. And that's a harsh thing. So you got to chase it while you're young. And I think that's what we're doing right now, man. It's a part of the journey. Yeah,
bro. I agree with you 100%, man. Again, I just hope people are really taking the time to really pursue those endeavors, man. Talk about making big transitions, bro. If I'm not mistaken, you were planning on moving to Cali after you graduated. Was that did that get derailed by the pandemic, or what happened?
Yep.
We got derailed. Damn
100%. 100%.
Next time.
Next time, bro. Next time. But yeah, man, I'm still in Dallas. I think a good thing about it too is, I don't know, man. Look, like I said, I wasn't able to go to Cali, wasn't able to do some things. I'm sure there are a lot of things that, you know, with LHN, for example, there's a lot of things that are still up in the air. But just the ability that you have to go out and make this podcast and explore that lane of creativity for yourself, and me with music, like that's still something that we have and hold on to. So, you know, though despite all of the things, because I'm with you, man, I try to be as positive, but most of the time I'm a realistic pessimist, to be honest. So yeah, man, I'm right there with you. But yeah, bro, you gotta try at least to tap into that, and despite everything, just chase what you truly want to do.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue. I have the privilege of knowing a handful of dope rappers like yourself, man. Pretty personally. Again, I'm happy you came on, bro. I really appreciate you taking the time, man. But well, I say that to say, bro, something I like to explore with them kind of is how have you been able to keep that prolonged interest in rapping, man? Because again, man, it's sort of muddy waters, right? I think you're in an interesting position where you've had sort of, I don't want to say immediate success because I don't want to shortcut your journey by any means, right? But you've endured success that at our age most people haven't. So I guess has that, if at all, kind of played into your interest in pursuing rap continuously, or how has that sort of played into it?
The thing with rap, because I just feel like there's no other genre of music that is as competitive and as like, I got it and you don't, so you gotta like bring it kind of genre and music than hip hop, bro. So it's like, even when I feel like I don't want to do it, like Hov and Jay like drop an album, I'm like, damn, like they're coming like this, I gotta come with something. Like it's just like, even though the chances of me meeting Jay-Z are like crazy to none, but like the way I'm thinking about it in my head is, yo, if this is how it's gonna be, I gotta come with something. And it's like every time it's just that sense of competitiveness and also the sense of just admiration for the game, bro. Like it's just such a great avenue of music that has never been shown before. And so that's kind of what keeps me just loving music, man. And it's cool, like you see a lot of people within like the new school of rappers, right? Like just like different takes of you know, like people that we may have grew up on, right? Like there are people that there's like 100 different variations, in my opinion, of like Lil Wayne. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a very good way. Like people take you know, inspiration and tweak it to their own thing. And I think that's dope, bro. Like, so I don't know. That's kind of what keeps me invested in love with music and in hip hop. It's just to see what's coming up next and kind of like the OGs that still got it, man.
Yeah, man. Focusing kind of on that immediate success again, not to shortcut anything, but when did you start getting sort of that, your peers around you, man, especially in Austin, bro, because you kind of took off, bro. I know you're a humble guy, man, but you've kind of blown up, bro, and it's incredible to watch, bro. And I like keeping people like you around, bro, because I feel like you handle it so well. Like you're very grounded, bro, and you're a humble cat every time I talk to you, so that's why I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, when did that success start coming in? Like, where your peers and where you kind of just took off in Austin, man? I don't want to shortchange you in that way anyway, because I know you kind of taken off globally too. But you know, was it the backseat freestyles or was it the?
Nah, it was this one thing that I had done. It was the NBA rap that I had done that caught the attention of my favorite hooper right now, still to this day, Damian Lillard.
Oh man, he's in the news right now, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hey,
bro.
Let him drop his 50 pieces. I'm all for
go ahead.
man. I'm all for Dame. But yeah, man, that's kind of like the first thing that had happened, because a lot of the times in hip hop, at least my exploration of hip hop and in music, is I was just very closed in with it. I didn't really want to share it with anybody. It was just something I enjoyed doing. And it wasn't until the NBA season was coming around and, one of my friends was like, yo, I know you're good at rapping. And I'm like, nah, I'm ready. He's like, shut up. You got to do a rap. Do a rap with like the NBA thing. And I was like, yo, that's an interesting idea. And so I took it, ran with it. And then like, it kind of took off from there. The first video I'd done, and I was like, yo, this is kind of tight. People actually liked it. And so I started posting like non-sports related raps, sports related raps that caught the attention of UT. And then ran with that for a little bit, with their freshman committing class back in 2018 and 2019, and then worked with CDC, the homie, not the Center of Disease Control, but because we got to specify now.
Yes, sir, especially on the pod.
But Chris Conti, the athletic director for UT, worked with him, and they were always so great. Like, just I was so grateful to be around their presence, man. They were always so humble with me. It was a really dope thing, and that kind of was one of the first instances for me to be like, yo, like, if this rapping thing never takes off, you better humble yourself, because these people that are in these very successful positions are treating you like a human being. And I know that for me, I was like, damn, that's so dope. And I think that's how everyone should be treated. So that's kind of what it was for me, bro. Cause I've been in rooms with some people that are much bigger artists than I am, that are straight, just like, they went straight to their head, bro. And it's just like, damn, you hate to see it. But that's one of the things, bro, that is like, you got to treat people with respect. I think that's the only thing when you're, you know, on your last days of life, I don't want to be remembered as a guy that was like an ass to people. I want to be known as someone.
I'm trying not to be, man, but I hope people, I hope they see this and be like, David kind of cool, bro. He all right. I try not to be, man, but some people might disagree with me. But like you said, bro, you've been in the room with some dope artists, man. I want to bring back this mantra, bro. Rap for logic or die trying, man. What does that mean to you, bro? What does it mean to you, man? Just what comes to mind when I say that?
Hunger, bro. I was just like so invested in this thing of meeting him because it was around the time, because like I said, bro, going back and listening to Wayne, it was such a great time for music because that was when right before Cole was about to, like, his come up was coming, Drake's come up was coming. You have a bunch of artists. I mean, there was Dizzy Wright, Vince Staples, Odd Future. Like, there was just such a crazy time for music. Great and Logic was one of the, great time for music. And Logic was one of those guys when he was dropping his mixtapes that I just stumbled upon it when he dropped his first one, I think on Dat Piff. So, like, shout out Dat Piff.
Man.
So
I mixtapes.
Yeah, bro. The Dat Piff and LimeWire, bro, is where I downloaded just copious amounts of illegally streamed music.
Bro, were you on FrostWire too, bro? FrostWire
was
FrostWire was a savior, bro.
Yeah.
I was getting them albums. Hey, bro, hope nobody watches this.
Exactly.
we was getting those illegal streams in.
Seriously, bro. Seriously. Yeah. It was a different time. It was different, man.
We were young and dumb.
Exactly.
Don't come after us.
There you go. But yeah, man, and it was just one of those things. Like, I listened to Logic and his mixtapes, and I just immediately fell in love with his ability to be an artist, but also a fan of the game. And I was like, damn, like, that's a really cool way to, like, you know, go through this genre of hip hop. And so he had always been someone that was a favorite of mine growing up. And I was like, damn, bro, like, I put all my homies onto him. I was like, yeah, man, this is the guy. Like, when my friends were like, yo, like, when they found out I was, like, rapping and stuff, they're like, yo, it'd be so tight if you met Logic. Like, let's get tickets. We'll get you backstage. Just rap for his ass. Like, do whatever. And I'm like, yeah, man, I always played it in my head. I'm like, I'm going to just walk up to him. Boom, 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 bar, 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 bar. Just, like, stuff like that. And I would see videos of, like, people running up on Ye or, like famous artists, or like the story of J. Cole where he handed Jay-Z a CD. Jay-Z was like, hell no.
Nah, bro, we good.
Yeah, he's like, keep that. And then the next year he signed him. So I'm like, bro, it can happen. And it was just one of those things, man, where it was one of the first times where I ever spoke something so much into fruition, it happened. Like, I just said it, bro. It got to the point, especially when I was at UT and I started rapping a bunch, like, I didn't even care anymore. I was like, forget the stigma from the community, forget the people saying whatever they want to say. I'm gonna just rap for this dude because I know I want to. And then it ended up happening, man. Just
spoke it into existence.
Yes, sir.
That's such a positive. That's such a positive thing, bro. That's such an important, bro. That's really what it comes down to, man. It's just auto-suggestion, bro. Just positive reinformation. Like, this could happen, right? That's very underrated, bro.
For sure.
So you obviously meet the cat, man, and what's he like, bro? Because it's interesting, bro. I've always had this respect for Logic, man. It's I've always, I guess I can see the parallels, bro. Because y'all, both of you cats, very humble y'all's approach, man, and focused on the lyrics and etc. What was that experience like? Just meeting them, finally getting that meeting, man. What was that?
And bro, I'm not even saying this in like a corny, like cliche way. It was everything I thought it was gonna be. Like, I was like, yo, this.
That's so big, dope. Bro. You meet people, you meet your idols, bro, and they be assholes. So that's
what,
big,
bro. Facts, and that's the thing. I was genuinely scared about, because, like I said, man, I've been in rooms with other artists that are like, you know, they haven't blown up yet, but they're big and they got, you know, they just got signed, whatever the case is, and they're like asses, bro. I'm like, damn, like, this is tough. But to meet him, sit down and have a one-on-one, bro, this is something I'm gonna tell you. Because I'm to the life of me, I want to get this footage. So in the documentary that I did with the YouTube original series, Hit Record, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Logic, there is this 30-minute sit-down interview that I have with Logic that him and I are just chopping it up together. And I've still to this day been berating YouTube and Hit Record, like, bro, please just give me this footage. Like, I will never post it. I just want it for myself. But yeah, man, we got to chop it up for a little, just him and I, and just, he's a humble ass dude, bro. And he just gave me a lot of, at least at that time, just gave me a lot of sense of affirmation. Like, damn, bro, like, I can really do this. Cause because I'm in a room with a multi-millionaire, multi-platinum selling artist, producer, whatever. And I'm like, yo, this can't happen. And so, yeah, man, it was an amazing experience.
I guess I'm sure that's something that's kind of driving you now, huh? Just again, you speak something into existence, and it comes to fruition. It's kind of like, man, anything could be possible at this point, man.
Yes.
I kind of want you to touch on this, especially, man, because again, you've kind of endured the success at a very young age, man. And I feel like you have an interesting perspective on how your dreams could just manifest itself into whatever you want them to be, man. So yeah, please, I would love for you to speak on that.
Yeah, bro. I think when I really started believing in it is when I just stopped listening to everybody else. And I don't even mean that in like it's only me in this world. Nah, nothing like that. Like I stopped listening to everybody else in regards to like criticism or whatever. Not in the sense of like constructive criticism, but more so in the sense of like doubt of like, yo, like, what are the chances really you could do this? Or like, yo, like there's so many people in the entertainment industry. Like, how could you really make your own avenue? Because like that doubt has always lingered. And to be fair and to be honest, like it still lingers to this day, especially we're in quarantine, bro. It's like, damn, like could this even really happen in the position we're in right now? Yeah. But when I really started, I think, taking off a little bit, at least internally with my music, is when I was like, forget all of that. I have one set goal. I'm going to just focus on the goal. Forget the streams, forget the Twitter followers, the Instagram followers, forget all of this. None of it matters right now other than the song that I'm working on and what I'm trying to create. And so I was so focused and locked in on that one thing that everything else kind of blocked out. And because of that, I had this, just this drive to be like, yo, this has to be great. And I have to make this great. And I kind of took everything else out. It's kind of when the best way I can put it is like when LeBron goes 0 dark 23. That's exactly how I felt. It's just like it
was that, yeah, man.
Block
That's
out
dangerous.
everything and just focus on
dangerous.
The goal. Yeah. 0 dark 23. LeBron goes crazy, but yeah. So like that's kind of how it was for me. That's kind of how I perceived it to be, and yeah, man, that's what I want people to understand is that anyone can do it, bro. I'm a kid from Mississippi that moved to Texas. You moved from Louisiana to Texas, and we're here in this position, right? Like I think hindsight is 2020, and so sometimes when you live in the moment, you don't really get to see how much you've done as a person. For you and I to be, in college, or I'm a college graduate, and for you to be in this system right now, crazy. Like, just put that in perspective.
The odds were stacked. The odds were stacked for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And so for you to be in this position, for me to be in this position is still crazy in itself. And that's kind of what drives me sometimes is not only blanking everything out that could be a doubt or a negative kind of energy, but also just like reflecting on everything I have done up until this moment. And that could go to anybody, right? Like you could be an accountant for all I care. And you can be like, damn, I really did. I checked the debits and the credits and I made sure everything was straight. I did that.
For sure.
That is true. So
for sure, no, you're preaching, man.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I feel about it, bro. And like, there's 7 billion people on this earth. You're bound to relate to somebody. Like that's also another thing too. Like you can make it, man. You can make an avenue. There's 7 billion people out here. You're telling me no one else is gonna rock with you? That's crazy. So,
damn, bro, that's a beautiful way to look at it, man. And again, this is why I like keeping cats like you around, bro. I like having this perspective, man. Let's talk about that performance, bro, that we've referenced a little bit, man. Because I remember I got a little of the backstory, bro, but I want you to tell the whole story, man. Kind of how the planning that went into that performance, sort of your angst going into it, man.
Yeah.
Everything about it, bro.
It was one of those things, bro. Like I had told myself, by the time I get out of UT, in my time here, I want to perform. I want to do something, and just like kick it with people. And I had done it on like smaller scales. Like people would invite me every now and again. They're like, "Yo, just come through to the party. Just like spit a quick 16 and bounce." Because I'm not really a big party person. Like I wouldn't really go to those things. But like if any of my homies were like, "Yo, like one of my friends says they really like your music, can you just come through real quick and spit something?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." It's not a big deal, but.
Do you like that part of the game though? I feel like this is a rapper question, but is that I feel like rappers probably hate being asked, "Hey, bro, just freestyle." Like, just I'm not gonna ask you to freestyle.
Every now and again. But to be honest, I actually love freestyling because like if you're freestyling, like actually freestyling and just saying what's coming to your head, it to me is fun as hell to do. Because like I'll go on, for example, I'll do this like every now and again. I'll go on Instagram Live for like an hour, and I'll be like, "Yo, just give me words to freestyle," and I'll put a beat up. And I'll just like read the words and I'll freestyle them because it's fun for me. But yeah, every now and again, like if it's like the third time in the day, like I remember it was like I think it was UT USC, and when UT had won, I was walking back to West Campus, bro, and it was like just so many drunk people. There were just like, bro, please, bro, just one time, dog, just spit a 16 more time. I'm like, first time I did it, second time I did it, but the third time I'm like, damn, man, like I'm gonna just regurgitate the same thing at this point.
Got to.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, I enjoy it, but I can understand why people would be like, yo, like I don't like doing that all the time. It makes sense. I get it.
I won't ask you to freestyle on the pod, bro. I won't. No, I'm dead. I won't. I won't. Sorry for the people watching. You're not getting that. But yeah, bro. This my bad. I didn't cut
not
your performance. Keep
going back to the show, bro. So Justin Sanchez, who is he's the creator of Digital Dopamine. He makes a lot of videographer. He's a videographer that works with a bunch of artists within the Texas region, but he's gone out a little bit. He was a cat, bro. He was super dope, super humble with me. He was like, he reached out. He was like, yo, I think you're really great with what you do. Would love to shoot videos for you. And that's kind of how we linked up. So it was him, Zane, who's a very good friend of mine, the Carter Sue, who is like my engineer, and we produce a lot of music together. It was us three, and we were always like, yeah, but we're going to do a show. We got to do a show. And when Justin really started getting the ball rolling on actually doing it, we were like, oh, damn, like this is actually going to happen. Like we're going to do a show. Because for me, bro, coming from, you know, most of my life living in Dallas and living in Plano, I was like, damn, I want to have my first show here. And so when it was like getting to that moment, I kind of realized, I was like, bro, life is short. Like I can have a show in Plano, and I can make that happen. But this is a special moment, man. Like I'm still a college kid. I'm a performer for a bunch of college kids and Kevin Robbins. And also, bro,
shout out Kevin, man.
This is crazy. My at the time I was interning for NBC, and one of the guy who is the guy who employed me to the position, he came. So it's just like, yo, I chopped it up with him. Yeah, bro. It was
it's the same college professors, everything.
Yeah, bro.
This is a crazy thing, man.
Yeah, bro. I was like, yo, because I'm saying stuff out there. There's like this aggression in me when I'm rapping. They're like, yo. I was like, hey, man, I don't want to put off, like, I promise, like, I'm a nice kid. I just, you know, when I grab the mic, it's a different.
That's interesting, bro, because I be cussing on the pod, bro. And it's like, God, I know one of my professors going to watch this, bro. Like, it is right. I won't change myself, but it's I can feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, leading up to the show, bro, there was just a lot of, I don't know, not necessarily doubt, but there was just a lot of like, damn, like if this is going to be my first show, like, am I going to perform well? Like, this is the first time I'm going to be performing in other people in regards to rap. Because I've been in front of other people before, but not necessarily like, yo, I'm going to be there for a set list, do some music and bounce. Like, I've never had that experience. And so kind of everything leading up to it. And Kevin being like, yo, can we have a class write for you? And then I find out that's the final. I'm like, damn, I really cannot mess this up for these guys.
A very crazy dynamic, bro. This was my final.
Yeah, exactly. So there was that.
It's dope as hell in hindsight, but it's crazy to think about. Shout out Kevin.
I'm right there with you. I remember when Kevin was telling me that, I'm like, damn, man, I really got to make sure this is a good enough performance. I don't want them to fail. So that's what I was thinking in my head. And so I have all these things, and I'm telling you, man, as soon as I took a step on the stage, it just washed away. It was weird. Like, it wasn't even I didn't even grab the mic yet. I took a step on the stage. The step that I was on, shout out to Scratch House in Austin, it was like a wobbly step. I almost fell, but then luckily did not fall, because that would have been bad. But luckily did not fall, got on stage, and then we had the performance, man, and everything kind of vanished away. The fact that you know, it was going to be my first show, the fact that it was in Austin, all of this stuff. I was just grateful to be in that moment and to share that with people, bro. That was the coolest thing to me about performing, is just seeing the energy of other people be reciprocated. And just that, like, there was one kid, bro, oh my God. It was like one of my deeper cuts on a song that I think on Spotify has like only like, and not only, it's a good amount, it has like 15,000 streams, and on Apple maybe has like 30 or 40,000 streams. But this kid is going bar for bar with me. I'm like, that's tight. I've never seen that before. I was like, this is crazy, man. So it was a surreal experience, bro. It was so amazing. And to end my college career on that note for me was like, that was dope. It was dope.
Before the pandemic and everything, bro. No, that's sick.
Seriously.
Man. I'll speak from my perspective, bro. Being in the crowd watching it, bro. The energy was crazy, fam. Like it was dope to watch, bro. Watching you shake hands and dap people up, and I don't know if I saw that specific fan, but I saw a lot of fans going word for word, bro. So yeah, bro, it was a beautiful experience, bro. I personally, bro, we laughing about the final, bro, but looking back in hindsight, bro, I really appreciate it, man, and it was just dope to be in attendance, bro. Like you killed it, like that was cool.
Thank you, bro. I really do appreciate it, man. It was so dope. It was so dope, and hopefully, you know, when, you know, God willing, knock on wood, bro, like when things can return to normalcy, that's something I definitely want to do, man. I just want to just meeting people, bro. Just like the kind of the same thing that you're doing with this podcast, man. Like just talking with people. It's not even in the sense of like, exactly, man. It's not even in the sense of music. Just like to interact with other human beings on this life is such a cool thing to me. And I mean, to get to do that through music or whatever the outlet is amazing.
My last thing about the performance, bro, it's so funny, bro. Y'all know if you remember, you came up to me at the end of it. you shook me up. And you said, "Hey, bro, I know you had to be here for a final. I'm sorry."
I was saying, bro.
I didn't remember that.
Because, bro, I was saying that because, so this is what happened, man. Yeah. So a lot of people that were gonna come from me, I still got love for them. We're still homies to the death. It was supposed to be like 30 people coming out from me. They're like, "Yo, what time are you performing?" I'm like, "Yo, because we were finding out last minute from the venue, like, yo, this is the start time, all this stuff." And so they're like, "Yo, what time are you performing?" I'm like, "I'm gonna be honest with you, all right? I'm the last person to perform, but I think it's gonna be at midnight." They're like, "Hell no." So I'm like, "All right, it makes sense. It's late."
Be like that, college.
Yeah, it's like, bro, was it a Friday or Saturday? I want to say it was a Saturday.
Friday.
You're right. It was a Friday. You're right. And it was a Friday, and so I was like, you know, there might be 6th Street or whatever the case is. There might be some other things to do. I get it. I'm not gonna hold y'all to it, but it was late. It was late, and I was like, I told Kevin right after. I was like, listen, thank you for staying. It is late as hell right now. I really do appreciate it, and I wanted to say that to everybody who was in that class. I'm like, I'm so sorry that it was like it's late as hell right now. Y'all gotta be here for a show. But yeah, man, it was. Yeah, it
was dope, bro. See, your real supporters like myself, I went to your performance, and I went to 6th Street after. You know what I'm saying? So you could have made it to the show. You know what I'm saying? I definitely walked to 6th. I actually lost. I couldn't find my car afterwards. That's a whole different story, right? But man, bro, as we sort of kind of wrap up, man, you've been more than gracious with your time, bro. Heard you got an album coming, man. Heard you got something coming. I guess I could ask you what's next, but I know you got something coming very soon, bro. So
yes, yeah, man. I'm very, very, very excited. This is the first time I've ever took a big hand in production and really just trying to produce my own stuff. And it's I was previewing it last night on my Instagram Live, just like some snippets, and just because I've been cooped up for so long, man. I'd say since January. And I've released a couple like Lucy songs just to like release them, like 2. But since January, I think I'm sitting on like 85, 90 songs. And so it's like, it got to the point, bro, where I was like, damn, man, I got to release something. And it's not going to be like no 50-track deluxe, whatever, Chris Brown. Shout out Chris
Drake,
Brown. Like,
Drake. Like Drake. Two side.
Yeah, 2 side. It's not going to be any of that, bro. It's a lot of the best stuff. Actually, a lot of it has been like within the last month. It's a lot of the best stuff that I've ever done. And I know with a lot of artists or creatives, they're just like, you're so wrapped up in the moment, bro. Like every album is your best album to your next album, which is something I need to write down because that's kind of a bar.
Hey, bro, don't worry. This is being recorded, bro. I'll send it to you.
Okay,
you got it.
We got it. But Yeah, man, it's something I really, really love, and it has just such a good culmination of different sounds. Because I think leading up to this, with every project that I've had or anything that I've released, I've always gotten the, yo, you sound like Logic, or yo, you sound like this. And I get it, because like growing up, you listen to your idols, or you listen to the people that you listen to a lot, and you try. There's
It's just
probably
natural. It's just natural.
yeah, it's
man, it's just
natural.
natural.
You pull from your inspiration, and you try to make your own lane from it. I'm sure there's some freestyle of me my brother has where I'm trying to sound like Lil Wayne. I can't remember it, but I'm sure. So that's just kind of how it goes. And so this has a culmination of everything, bro. And I think this is like the first time I ever really have like a good feeling of like, you'll get a sense of me, which I haven't really done a lot. And so I'm very excited for that, man. I'm very excited for people to listen to it. It should come out by the end of the month, August 31st. So I'm mixing and mastering it right now, but yeah.
For sure, bro. Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it, bro. You've been more than gracious with your time, man. Bro, I appreciate you coming on, bro. I appreciate it, man. It's always good to chop it up with you. Like I said, bro, humble guy, man. And I think you coming up to me at the end of that performance, and you could have said anything, bro. How was the performance? Like, I'm sorry. Like, that kind of just shows, bro, who you are, bro. And
yeah, we've
had a few encounters, bro. And bro, I like I said, I like to have people like you around, bro, because you good people, man. You're very humble. And man, I'm all the success to you, bro. And I'm looking forward to the album, man. I'm gonna check it out, bro.
Thank you. It means the world to me, homie. And also, same goes to you, bro. We gotta chop it up soon. We gotta chop it up, man. Anytime, just talk.
Man. Twitter's such a beautiful thing, bro. Because I literally hit you on the DM last week, and we was like, let's set it up, bro. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, bro. As soon as I saw the DM, I was like, yo, this is tight. I'd love to, but yeah, man, I'm grateful for your time as well, bro. Thank you for the very thought-provoking questions and just the perspective that you bring, man.
Journalism school, bro.
Yes, sir, man. A journalist talking to another journalist is going to be a great conversation, man. No question.
I'm sure Kevin will love it.
Yes, absolutely. Sure. But yeah, man, thank you so much for your time, bro, and we'll talk soon.